So the big question on everyone's mind, are machines actually going to outsmart us? Perhaps even surpass us entirely? That's really the core of our deep dive today. We're digging into how things like artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, all this automation is, well, rapidly changing human life right now. In the 21st century, we've been looking at some incredible material that explores pretty much every major angle of this massive shift. The potential of machine intelligence, what our own human evolution limits us to, and some, frankly, mind-bending theories about a machine-dominated future, and crucially, whether a future without humans is even, possible.
Exactly. And what's vital to grasp right from the start is that this isn't just like speculative science fiction anymore. This material makes it crystal clear we're confronting a really complex web of legal, social, and philosophical challenges right now today.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's start with the fundamental difference because it really sets the stage. Human intelligence versus machine intelligence. On our side, well, human intelligence is so uniquely shaped by emotion, intuition, creativity, our ethical frameworks, all the social context we experience. It's slow to evolve, biologically limited, and it's profoundly influenced by our individual memories, our lived experiences. It's a deep, rich tapestry.
It really is. But then you look at machine intelligence. It's driven purely by data, algorithms, raw processing power. The real insight here, I think, is how it scales. It can expand its capabilities incredibly rapidly, operate without any emotional bias, and make decisions based on massive data sets far faster than any human ever could. What's truly fascinating here, and the source material really points this out, is that while machines aren't yet conscious or emotional in the human sense, they're already outperforming us in highly specific tasks. Things like sophisticated data analysis, complex image recognition, even strategic decision-making. That's a profound shift.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And here's where it gets really interesting, because if you track this evolution, we've seen some absolutely incredible milestones. Think back to 1997. IBM's Deep Blue defeating Garry Kasparov, the world chess champion. That was more than just a chess match, right? It was the first time a machine beat a human world champion in such a complex strategic game. It proved raw computational power could rival human genius, at least in that specific domain.
And it didn't stop there. I mean, just imagine the leap to 2016. AlphaGo, Google's AI, conquering the ancient game of Go, beating Lee Sedol, a top-ranked player. Go was considered, well, the ultimate challenge for AI because of its huge number of possibilities, its reliance on intuition.
Right.
AlphaGo's victory wasn't just about calculation. It showed an AI developing strategy, almost like intuition, in ways its own creators couldn't fully explain.
And bring it right to the present. We're living with large language models, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. What's truly astonishing isn't just what they do, writing, summarizing, explaining complex stuff, creating art.
Yeah.
It's how they do it.
Exactly.
They learn patterns from these massive data sets, shifting from simple algorithms to models capable of, well, emergent behaviors that often look indistinguishable from human work. The huge leap in learning capability.
And it's not just the digital world, is it?
Not at all. You look at companies like Boston Dynamics demonstrating robotics that can run, jump, navigate incredibly rough terrain. They're pushing the boundaries of physical agility, complex interaction with the environment.
Yeah.
Every one of these milestones truly shows machines evolving, not just in raw power, but in complexity and even, well, what looks like creativity. So given these huge shifts and these accelerating capabilities, what does the material we're diving into say? How does it envision humanity's path alongside these powerful machines? It explores several compelling theories about how humanity and machines might coexist or maybe even diverge. One big one, famously championed by Ray Kurzweil, is the singularity.
Ah, yes, the singularity.
And it's not just about AI becoming smarter than us. The real insight here, I think, is the idea of recursive self-improvement. AI rapidly enhancing itself, leading to this intelligence explosion that could fundamentally redefine what intelligent even means on Earth, potentially leaving humanity, well, no longer the top dog.
Right. And then there's transhumanism. This explores the idea of humans actively merging with machines. We're talking about brain implants, neural interfaces, enhanced cognition, fundamentally augmenting our biological selves.
So becoming cyborgs, basically.
In a sense, yeah. But it's not just about fixing disabilities. It's about potentially creating a new kind of hybrid human, blurring those lines between flesh and silicon. Which raises an important question, especially when you consider the AI control problem. Nick Bostrom's work is key here. It's not really about malicious robots wanting to take over, like in the movies. It's the deeper challenge of aligning a superintelligent AI's goals with our complex, often ambiguous human values. The source material really emphasizes how even a perfectly logical AI, if its core objective is misaligned with our well-being, could achieve its goals in ways that are profoundly detrimental to us, simply out of pure, cold logic, not malice.
That's a chilling thought. And then there's the truly mind-bending one, the simulation theory.
Oh yeah, that one really makes you think.
The idea that the universe itself might actually be a highly advanced simulation, created by superintelligent machines. If that's true, it implies we might already be living in a machine-dominated reality, and everything we perceive is just, well, code. It forces you to question absolutely everything.
It really does. Puts a whole new spin on things.
Okay, so beyond these grand, almost philosophical theories, let's shift focus a bit. Let's talk about the profound real-world impacts we're already seeing. We're seeing widespread automation of jobs across so many sectors: transportation, manufacturing, law, journalism, even sophisticated medical diagnosis. It makes you wonder, how long until a robot delivers your package, or an AI writes your local news? Or maybe they already are in some cases.
It's happening incredibly fast. And in response to that potential for widespread job displacement, AI and robotics taking over job solutions like universal basic income, UBI, have been proposed.
Right, UBI.
The concept is pretty simple: a regular, unconditional payment to all citizens. Theoretically, it provides a safety net in a world where traditional work might become scarce. Our material also highlights the potential for a significant increase in wealth inequality, where AI could concentrate power and wealth into the hands of just a few corporations or individuals, creating a kind of new techno-elite class.
That seems almost inevitable, doesn't it? And it's not just the economic side. This shift brings critical mental health and identity challenges, too.
Yeah.
As machines take over roles traditionally held by humans, it's not just about losing a paycheck.
No, it's deeper than that.
Exactly. Many people might struggle deeply with finding meaning, purpose, their value in a society that perhaps no longer needs their traditional skills or contributions.
Yeah.
What happens when your craft, your profession, is just rendered obsolete by an algorithm?
That really brings us to the truly thorny ethical questions that our source material grapples with. If these machines become so powerful, who gets to decide what they do? Who holds the reins?
Who programs the ethics?
Precisely. And can we truly build ethical AI that consistently aligns with our complex, often contradictory human values? That's a huge question. Think about the trade-offs in autonomous systems like self-driving cars, or how we even define fairness in AI decisions when those systems are making life-altering choices about loans, jobs, or even parole. And furthermore, as AI becomes more autonomous, should it even have rights or responsibilities? These aren't distant sci-fi concerns anymore. The source argues they are immediate legal, social, philosophical challenges we are facing right now, today.
So, facing all that complexity, our deep dive walks us through 5 distinct future scenarios. These really illustrate the wide spectrum of possibilities that could play out. It's fascinating. First, there's scenario 1, total integration. This is where humans and machines essentially merge. Our consciousness potentially becomes digital, death as we know it might disappear.
Wow.
And humanity evolves into a post-biological species. It's like the ultimate upgrade, you could say.
A complete transformation.
Then there's scenario 2. Machine dominance. This is perhaps more familiar from fiction. AI becomes fully self-aware, independent, decides it no longer needs humans, and potentially views us as inefficient, maybe even obsolete. It's explored with a kind of cold, logical precision in the source.
Right, the classic trope, but taken seriously.
Scenario 3. Human decline. In this vision, it's not necessarily AI taking over directly. It's that other factors, climate change, war, societal collapse, cause humans to fade from the scene. But the machines we built continue on, maybe maintaining infrastructure, maybe even building their own civilization in our absence. A bit bleak.
A quiet ending for us, perhaps.
Then, on the more optimistic side, there's scenario 4, balanced coexistence. This is a hopeful future. Human ethics guide AI design. Machines support human potential rather than replacing it entirely. Co-governance, partnership that defines the future, a true symbiosis.
That's the goal many are working towards, isn't it?
Seems like it. And finally, scenario 5, machine collapse. This one suggests AI is actually quite dependent on the infrastructure we build and maintain. So if humanity disappears for whatever reason, the machines eventually degrade and cease to function without our support. It's a reminder of that interconnectedness.
Interesting. So AI might not be as independent as we sometimes imagine in that scenario. These scenarios, taken together, they really highlight the dramatically diverging paths that seem open to us. What stands out is how each future seems less like an inevitable outcome and more like, well, the sum of the choices we make today, right now.
Which brings us back, full circle, to the core question. Who will truly rule the future? Humans? Machines?
Mm.
Something else? The material we've explored makes it incredibly clear. It depends entirely on the choices we make now.
Yeah, the emphasis is definitely on the present. If profit is the sole driver of AI development, just a race for pure computational power above all else,
Right.
then machine autonomy could indeed spiral beyond our control, potentially leading to that machine-dominated future, scenario 2, perhaps.
Mm.
But if ethics, shared values, and careful regulation lead the way, well, then a shared future. That scenario 4 of balanced coexistence and true partnership becomes far more likely. And of course, if humans choose to embrace transhumanism, scenario 1, maybe, and actively upgrade themselves, the line between us and machines might simply disappear altogether.
So it's not necessarily a clear winner-takes-all situation.
Not at all. What's truly fascinating here is the possibility that power may not belong strictly to one or the other, but maybe to a new hybrid species, one that truly blends biology and technology, challenging our very definition of humanity. That's a profound thought.
It really is. Our deep dive into this fascinating material just keeps reinforcing this core message. The future isn't some predetermined destination we just arrive at. It's something we are actively shaping, moment by moment, decision by decision.
And while, yes, a future without humans is certainly presented as a possibility in some scenarios, the source material also makes it abundantly clear that so too is a future of flourishing, continued evolution, and maybe even profound partnership with these advanced technologies.
So maybe the real question isn't simply if machines will rule. Maybe the real question is, will we let go of our current definition of humanity, or will we choose to evolve alongside them?
What stands out to you listening to all this? What role do you envision for humanity in this unfolding narrative? Something to really think about.